The Carolina Panthers are an interesting commodity this year. I don't think any analyst was really paying them much attention, probably because we just didn't know what to expect. I'm still a firm believer in Cam Newton's ability, despite pretty much everything we've seen since his MVP year, and especially given what we saw on the weekend. Because of that, I don't think we saw a season last year from the Panthers that was truly indicative of what they're actually capable of. Newton started a couple of games, and whilst Kyle Allen looked good at times, he still ended the season with almost a 1-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. They had a new head coach in ex-Temple and Baylor man Matt Rule, and a new quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater, and I like both of these guys. Rule has a proven track record of turning teams around. The first season at Temple finished 2-10 and his final 10-3. Likewise, his first season at Baylor finished 1-11 and his final 11-3, so I definitely believe he deserves a chance in the NFL. My feelings on Bridgewater are similarly positive. A guy that was thrown into the deep end last season as the starting quarterback after Drew Brees' injury in week 2, he had 5 starts and threw 9 touchdowns in the season. There's definitely promise in this combination, but it will take time, and that's why I believe the buzz on this team has been fairly minimal this year. We are going to look at a play of theirs though, from this weekend against the Saints. I do believe that this play is hugely benefited by a blown coverage by the Saints, but I also think it's a fantastic offensive play call. It throws the defense into disarray, and it's all down to creating confusion with assignments. Let's run the film. To set the scene for this play, we're in the second quarter, 14-3 to the Saints, there's 11 on the clock, and it's 2nd and 14. This is the pre-snap setup. Before we start anything, it's worth saying that both sides know Bridgewater's throwing the ball. The Saints are running either a cover 2 sink or Tampa 2 out of a 4-3 under front. This is a classic bend but don't break setup. They'd be happy to give up 5 or 6 yards out to the flats or short middle on a slant, but they don't want to see a big gain for the offense. The irony to that statement is not lost. Key guys to keep an eye on here is number 23 Marshawn Lattimore and number 43 Marcus Williams. The Panthers are running a 1-1 personnel out of a gun backfield and are aligned in a spread formation. The ex-receiver Robbie Anderson is lined up with the tight end Ian Thomas on the right hand side of the field, and the 2 receivers DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel are lined up on the left hand side. As soon as the play begins, look for the defensive backs and linebackers to immediately start moving back. Watch number 56 Demario Davis jump deeper than his 2 positional counterparts to cover the vertical seam. On the offensive side, we're going to see running back Mike Davis wheel out to the flats. On the right, Robbie Anderson is going to run a slant to the middle, presumably as a last read throw along with Davis, whilst Ian Thomas is going to check number 96 with a weak block and then run a dig just past the 35. On the right, Curtis Samuel is running a corner and DJ Moore is going to drift slightly to the left, but ultimately he's running a fly straight down the field. The crossing of these 2 guys is something to watch out for, because this seems to be what puts Marcus Williams in a complete mess when trying to figure out who to track. Throughout the entirety of this play, Teddy Bridgewater's head position doesn't change. The entire purpose of this play is to throw off the deep safeties by running multiple players into the same zone. Bridgewater's first read is either of the 2 deep running wide receivers lined up on the left, and his goal is to hit whichever one gets separation first. This play is made by Curtis Samuel running the corner. Because of how close he runs to the left hash marks, it looks like he's running down the middle of the field. As he turns to the outside, he drags Marcus Williams with him, creating a huge gap in the middle left of the field, which DJ Moore promptly races into. When looking at this play from Marcus Williams' perspective, as soon as he sees Curtis Samuel head to the outside and notice that he'll be covered by Marshawn Lattimore, who's also tracking back, this should be his signal to leave this assignment. This no longer becomes his priority because this man is covered. DJ Moore is still in front of Marcus Williams when Samuel heads up towards Lattimore, so Williams has to read this and switch from Samuel to Moore. There's no one else that can track DJ Moore here because he runs his route behind the deep linebacker Demario Davis, and in any case he's still running in Williams' zone for the majority of this route. This is a great play call from the Panthers in response to an expected conservative setup from the Saints. It throws off the DBs and creates just enough confusion to leave a man completely unmarked in the middle of the field. The Saints have to be better though. The entire purpose of this defensive setup is to stop exactly what they let through. Yes, it's not easy when multiple guys are running into your zone, but I probably would have given them more credit if DJ Moore had gone behind Marcus Williams' eye line. He doesn't though, and Williams still fails to see the man running through. Teddy Bridgewater has an easy job after that. This is still a strong Saints defense, but these are the mistakes they need to fix if they want to make a proper Super Bowl run, especially with their divisional neighbours in Tampa Bay starting to find some genuine rhythm. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Back to the Board. If you enjoyed the content, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode next week.